In this third layout video, we will begin with labeling our 4 individual style images. And the first thing I'd like for you to do is to come over to the default tray, and you can collapse shape style. We don't need that right now. And open your text style, so expand that. And for the purposes of our class, I'd like everyone to use the same font style. And in here, they're listed under the family column. So if you scroll up and down here, it might take a little bit to find the one that I want you to use, which is Swiss 721 LTEXBT. So they're categorized alphabetically. So there they are. But you could also just pick in here and start typing SW, and all the Swiss fonts are there in front of you to choose from. So the one that I'd like for you to use is Swiss 721 LT EXBT, this last one down here. So it's the last Swiss font style in this whole list. So pick that, and we will be using bold. So under typeface column, pick bold, and the size for our labeling will be 12 points. So pick on 12. Now the other settings that I would like for you to use, you're not going to have any of these on, but you will have align left on, and you want to have it anchored from the top. So pick that, and then unbounded. So perhaps later we'll go further into all of these, but for right now, I'd like for you to have align left, anchor top, and unbounded. Swiss 721 LTBT is the family, typeface bold, and size 12. So if you look up here in your toolbar, you'll see a couple of icons here with the letter A in it. And even though I use the word label, we're not going to use this icon. We're going to use this one where it just simply says text. So I would pick that to begin with, and then I highly recommend just zooming in close to this. It's easier to see, and for the purpose of lining everything up, I think it might be a good idea to have your grid on. So again, that's just right-clicking and hiding or unhiding the grid, or showing the grid rather. So leave the grid on for right now. So after you pick the icon, come over here to the little corner. It'll lock into place. So after you see that, I'm not holding my finger down on the mouse. What I want you to do is just slowly move your mouse in a downward direction, and you'll see a green tracking line. So wherever you stop, that is going to be the top of your text, because over here we had anchor top. So again, I'm going to come over here, slowly move it down, and for right now, what I'd probably do is stop right there. So I'm going to pick there, and you'll see the little flashing cursor bar. And for all of our text, it's going to be all caps. So I would just leave the cap lock on your keyboard, and then start typing the style there. So whatever style that you have in this area here, just start typing it. And this one happens to be Cape Cod. So Cape Cod. And to stop the text, you can come out here in the gray area, or pick really anywhere. And what I would do, there's a couple different ways of doing this, but I would first maybe come over here after you do the first one, and then with your select tool, select it again. And with your arrow keys, don't forget, you can fine tune or adjust them. So what I'd like for you to do is to have the beginning of the C here line up with the black border of your image. So I'm just going to tap over a little bit with the left arrow, and it looks a little low to me because these labels or these names here should be a little closer to the images. So I'm going to go up a little bit, and maybe I'll try this where I'm aligning the top letters to this line right here of the grid, and pick out here. It's not quite there, but I'm going to leave it like that. You should always back out of your view and see how it looks. Okay, so I think that's good. I wouldn't go any closer to the image. And then when you have all four, then you can kind of look back and see overall how it looks. So that one's done, and we can see that the top of the lettering here, there's a little space between here and here. You don't have to get this so perfect. Now, sometimes you can just space over and type over here, but for right now, individually do this just to get the practice of doing all of this. So again, text here, anchor, pick, and then start typing. This one's going to be Mexican Colonial. And if you enter, it'll just bring you down to the next line. So, and it keep on going. So just pick anywhere out here to stop it. And then you can hit the space bar for the select tool, select your text, and then with your arrows, I would get a little close to it. M is aligned with that. Needs to go up a little bit, about there, and then that'll set it. So if you happen to select something like that, like I just did, just pick out here in the gray, and looks good. Okay, so now again we're going to do this with the text, but I'm going to show you, just in case you'd like to label it in the center, what you can do is to pick the align center. Now that's not automatically going to get you to the center here, but it will, the center of the image will always, or the image or the line, it'll always track and it'll pick right there. So again, it's still anchored top, so I'm going to just pick there and then start typing Mid-Century Modern. Oh, didn't have the space between their mid. And then pick anywhere to set it. So you can kind of look out here, and if you want them in the middle, that's fine. I happen to like them on the left-hand side like this. So if you change your mind, you don't have to redo it, just select it. And then if you see the little move symbol there, you can just move it over there, roughly put it there, then zoom in, and it's a little out, so I'm going to tap it back a little bit, and that's good. Needs to go up a little bit, like that. Okay, so I'm going to just go back to align left again, text, and finish up with the Santa Barbara. Again, get close to it, select it, position it, and at this point you want to look at it overall, see if everything is lined up, and it does, and make sure you are saving. So I'm going to come over here to File and Save. And if you want to, you can switch to your cover page and label it here, isometric view, or in the middle here. I'm going to leave mine alone because it's just a cover page, and I don't want any text other than the project one and your name here. So that one's finished. styles is finished. And next we are going to work on our site plan. So switch over to page 3. And in the final video for this layout series, we'll begin with our site plan by importing our site image. Save one last time, and that's it.